Everyone. I'm sure most of you know people online who are very popular for being really good at like digging up like obscure details online that seem impossible to find otherwise. Some of these accounts are meant as a joke, or like they want to do it just because they like challenge offered by other people online, with one account being Rainbow, who blew up because like how good he was at finding locations or places that other people showed online, but they didn't want to say where it was and they just said go find it for yourself. This is normally like a petty joke being like, I know about something that you don't, but he actually took the time with some other friends to find the exact location of the places that are shown in the video, with one example probably being his most popular being the bagel shop TikTok. Regards said that he found the best sandwich ever, but he didn't want to say like what the sandwich is called, what the shop is called, or even like what city it's in, until Rainbow found it and told people like what the shop was called and how to order on the menu. For most people, this was how they found them because of like how mind-blowing it was that he found like the exact shop and the menu item just from like one simple video by just like cross-referencing what he could find. But if you were to go into his account, you would see like how obsessed he is with Google Maps and like how he's almost like god like a geo-guesser. But there would be time where he would guess like the near exact location of like a tiny road in some country just by seeing like a few frames of a picture. And this is what I bring always because I want to show like how people spend hours online just to find like small tidbits of like information if they're invested in it. Because there are people who like uncover footage of other people to expose like the horrible things they did or what they did controversially. One person on TikTok who's similar to that is someone called Savannah, or Arexist, who's well known for like finding evidence of people doing like really heinous shit like blackface.
This is Crystal Crow. She's an RN in Michigan who donned blackface with her husband last year on Halloween, but it wasn't discovered until recently. This was reported to HR at McLaren Hospital, and allegedly they responded that since it was her husband who posted it and tagged her, it was totally fine. So I just want to clarify if McLaren Hospital's position is that racism is totally okay as long as their employees aren't the ones directly advertising it.
Get over the care of them! They're stupid and fat, and I take care of them. I take care of them.
Update on Dr. Rachel Oliver, the Idaho OBGYN, seen in that video calling her pregnant patients fat and stupid. She ended up getting fired from every institution where she worked or had privileges, including St. Luke's, Valor Health, and OGA.
And most of the time, she exposes to like doctors and nurses, and that's because she's also a nurse, and she doesn't want those kind of people working in hospitals where they're not really working like 100% professional, or they might be mocking like their patients. For example, they talked about a tweet where some nurse was mocking a patient for being in a lot of pain, but it just noted down as like poor coping skills while they're looking like really pissed off at the patient.
Last year on Halloween, this gremlin posted a video on Twitter mocking a patient in pain while employed as a CNA at Salem Health Hospital in Oregon. Nancy was later fired after a month-long investigation. The Board of Nursing in Oregon also launched an investigation and made several attempts to allow Nancy to respond, to no avail.
And she won't just find where they work, she will also find like criminal records to like back up more evidence to show why they shouldn't be working in hospitals.
Regardless, I'm not satisfied with just leaving it there because blackface isn't the only thing that Crystal likes sharing with her partners. Is it, Crystal? You see, Crystal got caught back in 2009 for allegedly calling in fraudulent Vicodin prescriptions for herself and her then husband. Even though she was convicted criminally for this, the Board of Nursing, through the Health Professional Recovery Program, put her on probation. 2 months into probation, Crystal got a DUI, which she did not disclose, and it ended up extending her probation by a year, as well as required her to attend 90 12-step meetings.
But she will also expose like random small accounts on her TikTok comments that are like criticizing or offending her, which is the way that I found about her, because she made like a TikTok calling out like some man who was like obsessed with her, who's been like commenting on every single one of her TikToks for a year straight.
This person has been commenting on every single video I've ever made for the last year. He finds comments that I've left on other people's videos and begs for attention there, demanding that I expose Tizzy, who at this point I'm convinced he's in love with.
And the reason why he wants her attention so bad is because I guess like he wants her to like expose on a TikTok called Tizzy, who talks about like politics, crimes and news on his account, where he probably made a statement that the guy didn't like, so he wanted like Savannah to expose him. But at the same time, his comments towards her are pretty obscene, like always cursing at her, so I'm guessing he also hates her while also wanting her to make a video about Tizzy.
The comments towards me are always misogynistic, obsessive, and threatening, and last night he decided to call me, in all caps, a coward-ass bitch. Okay, bet. You wanted my attention so badly, now you have it.
So Savannah, after being fed off of commenting like the same shit over and over on her TikToks, decided to do a deep dive on him by going to his account and seeing like what he posted, and she found some really obscure details. Like one time he posted a video of a pickup truck he liked at a car dealership, so she went through and substituted like the license plate number to find like exactly where the car dealership was.
I saw this license plate on a video you posted and found the dealership in Bloomington, Illinois.
Then she cross-referenced that with another post where he showed like a road sign to a nearby town that was like his delivery route for work.
And then on this video I I noticed that you passed a sign that said Richie was nearby and commented that this town was on your delivery route. So let's see. Okay, yeah, that checks out.
So at this point, this is like some really obsessed shit, because most people in this situation, if they had some account that kept on posting the same shit in their comments, would just ignore them, because it's not like he has like a huge fan base that can like harass her. In her defense, she was seeing him keep on commenting on her post for like a year straight, always demanding her to like talk about Tizzy. But even then, she's spending a lot of time and energy to just find this information when she would just like block him. But the video doesn't end there, because she goes on to like go through his like following list to find an actual person that she didn't find on Facebook.
And then on this video, someone comments about your username being beef, and you disclose that it's a play on your full government name. You go on to say that nobody will find out what it is. Challenge accepted. So I went to the very bottom of your follower list, because that's typically people you know in real life, found somebody, looked her up on Facebook, saw that she's got the same profile photo, and she's also in Bloomington, Illinois.
And I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how she came across like this specific person out of everyone on this list. So she probably went like one by one, googling every single person to find their Facebook, until she found this one. At the very least, she did like blur out her name and picture, but then she goes on to like search for a picture to find a bikini photo that he liked, where like she then tracked like his actual personal account.
And to save myself some time, because you sound desperate, I found a picture of her in a bikini from 2019, checked the likes, and guess whose name popped up? Keith Daly. Beef Bailey, Keith Daly. Same moles, same car, same petulant obsession with arcade games, so much so that you bullied a local arcade for closing down, and the same handle for your Facebook is found on your old Twitter.
She compared photos of him on his car, which really was his personal account, even adding on like they both talked about arcades, which just seems like a really weird like bit of evidence to prove that it really was him. After that, she talked about his Twitter, which to be honest was pretty funny, because it's just like the typical brainless stuff you would see normally on Twitter that's funny. It simply was like how dumb it is.
Where you document your long-standing hatred of women. You can see current evidence of this in comment replies to him on TikTok.
Like he sounds exactly like a 40-year-old like washed up drunk guy at a bar, similar to like any other post by like Words Deleted Tweets, which is a really funny account for any of you who haven't been there before. But anyways, back to the TikTok, because the last part that she mentioned that's also the weirdest is saying like how he had a baby daughter and she's willing to wait like 18 years until she grows up to tell about like what her dad posted on Twitter like nearly 2 decades ago.
Keith, let me give you some advice, buddy. You appear to have just had a beautiful baby girl. How that happened, I have no idea. But unless you want her to grow up and know exactly the type of daddy she's got, I suggest you stop harassing me, because I'm petty enough to wait until she turns 18 and tell her myself. Stop bothering me and go take care of your newborn, you fucking weirdo.
I understand that it was a way to like him to shut up and stop posting dumb shit on social media, but it would have been like way quicker and easier to just block him so he would like slowly be quiet. And his TikTok, to be honest, could have definitely been halved with the amount of details he just has in. Like respect for like the previous stuff she did, where she uncovered people who don't deserve to be working in hospitals because of the way they treated patients or how they mocked them. But it's still weird to me that she chose like target this one specific guy just for like being annoying, where like nobody really knows. She does admit that she's petty, but doesn't change like the amount of hours she spent searching through his account to find this information. She's just one of those people who gets really obsessed with this kind of shit, and there are definitely people online who make posts very similar to hers. It still struck me as weird that she went from like targeting professionals to just like this random account on TikTok, even threatening him to wait years to tell his daughter about him. But that's all I have to say. So hope you guys video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.